that new whip. Hey, who's that do trip?
And we're live.
Welcome to BETT Records, where we talk about hot topics, ideas, and all the shit you really want to hear.
We are live. Welcome to BETT Records, where we talk about whatever the fuck we want to, because we can. Today, we're going to have a special episode here, day before the UFC 271 fight. If you guys want to pull up the card just so you can be involved, otherwise I got Justin over here on mine. Let's start with these early prelims. I think this is mostly just going to be kind of looking at them, looking at their records and stuff. First up in a welterweight matchup, we have Jeremiah Wells versus Mike Mathera. I don't know who that is.
Let's just skip over the early prelims.
No, we'll go through. We got to pick. Here, I think I'm going to take Jeremiah. He looks like he's just been a longer fighter, so he might be a little tenured. That's who, and he's got a picture. That other guy doesn't have a picture. So that's who I'm going with. Justin, you in on that?
I'll go with him too.
All right, Jeremiah Wells. Somebody want to write this down? What our picks are?
Sure.
All right. Moving up, bantamweight fight: Douglas Silva, DeAndrade. He's actually looks like he's been around for a while.
DeAndrade.
Yeah, and then that's what I was thinking. And then Sergey Morozov.
I'm going Sergey. He's Russian.
Sergey? All right, Sergey it is. Next up, we have a middleweight matchup by AJ Dobson and Jacob Malkin.
AJ Dodson.
Yeah, I'm going with the Dobson guy. He's 6-0-0 and won no contest. He's got my pick. Light heavyweight, we got Carlos Ulberg versus Fabio Cherant. I think the Cherant guy, look at his fucking hair, dude.
Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio. Yeah.
Oh, God, and this next...
Alexander Hernandez in a lightweight versus Renato Moicano.
Renato Moicano. Alexander Hernandez sucks.
Okay, Moicano it is. Bantamweight, we have Mana Martinez versus Ronnie Lawrence. I think the Martinez guy, honestly. But that guy looks like a bad motherfucker.
I'm going to go with Ronnie Lawrence.
Ronnie Lawrence, all right. Ronnie Lawrence it is. We're just going to kind of rifle through these prelims. You want to go do the same thing? Light heavyweight, William Knight.
Connecticut,
Maxim
born and
Grisham.
raised.
All
Hartford
right.
County, East Hartford, Connecticut. Let's go, William Nightmare
William
Knight.
Knight. Flyweight, we have Alex Perez versus Matthew Christoper, whatever
Alex
the fuck.
Perez.
All right, Alex Perez. Women's flyweight, we have Roxanne Modafferi and Casey O'Neill. Yeah, there we go.
I'm going O'Neill.
Yeah, O'Neill's 8-0. So
Modafferi's on her way out.
she looks like a journeyman. She's 25-20.
Yeah, she was on The Ultimate Fighter with Juliana Pena. I forget what season that was. It was with Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate being coaches. Damn. I think Modafferi made it to the finals, actually. No, I think she made it to the semis, lost, and then she got then I'm pretty sure she got a title shot in flyweight against Nico Montano, but she lost, and
Been a nobody ever since.
We haven't seen Nico Montano in 4 years.
Wow. Last one on the prelims, we have a heavyweight matchup, which should be possibly the fight of the night, depending on how it goes. We have Andre Arlovsky versus Jared Valderrama.
Andre Arlovsky.
That guy looks like...
former heavyweight champion.
I was going to say, he looks like he could kill somebody. Like, he looks like a serial killer.
Jared or Andre?
Andre. Are you looking at these? Stop. What are you doing? Get your hands out of your goddamn pants. Guy has... No, get out of here. Guy has...
All right, back to the fight.
No, get your grubby-ass hands off my phone. This guy...
All right, back to the fight.
This guy...
No.
Here's what happened.
No.
He has-
All right, so let's go to the main
Oh,
card.
look what you did. You got Max all hyped up.
All right, back to the main card.
It's
Let's
a
go to
great
the main
card.
card.
What's not to be
Main card of the evening. With the first fight, we have a lightweight matchup between Bobby Green and Nasrat Haqparast. Haqparast.
I'm going Nazarat.
Nasrat, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know either of those fighters, so I think I'm going to take your judgment on this one. Even though Bobby Green looks like more experienced, he does look like he's probably getting up there. As far as age, 35, yeah, and the other guy's 26. So, yeah, I think I'm safe with that one. Moving up, we got a bantamweight matchup between Kyler Phillips and Marcelo Rojo.
I have no idea who any of those guys are.
Yeah, it looks like Phillips is 26 with a 5'7" height, a 135 with a 72-inch reach versus Rojo, 33, 5'7", 135 pounds as well with a 71-inch reach. So it's battle of the age.
I'll go Rojo. And I know the next
Rojo?
one's a good one.
Yeah. Next one we have up in the middleweight matchup. We have Jared Cannonier versus Derek Brunson.
Derek, or as Israel Adesanya calls him, Derek Bumpson.
Derek Brunson, yeah, okay. Trenton, what do you got on this one? Now that we're in the top three on the fight card.
And just for a note, this is a title eliminator fight. So if Adesanya wins, then the winner of that's going to fight him next.
Wow, okay.
I'm going with Bumpson.
I was gonna pick Jared, but you obviously know more than I do. Jared looks like he's 14-5. They both look like bad fuckers. So.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Cannonier used to fight in heavyweight.
Yeah, he looks like a big guy.
Oh sure, yeah.
That might be tough, honestly, if he cut down to get in this fight. But I mean, if he's tearing it up, I mean.
No, Bumpson's tearing it up. 5 in a row. His last loss was to Adesanya at UFC 230.
Nice.
That'd
So
be
he's probably a train then. Yeah.
Winning his last fight in submission against a dominant win over Darren Till.
That's a good fight.
And right afterwards, getting a good call out of Israel Adesanya. Going right up, mouth guard out, flexing. Where's the belt? Looks for the camera. Where's the camera at? Looks at it. Israel Adesanya, boy. I ain't been waiting all this time for nothing, boy. You next, boy. You next. Those are his words, so.
And that's what we got. Q-Tip, are you in on that action?
I'm in on that action.
All right, Derek Brunson it is. The next fight, probably the most exciting co-main event we will see all year and possibly contender for Fight of the Year. We have the ever-powerful Hall of Famer Derrick Lewis, the Knockout King, Black Beast, going up against the fan favorite Tai Tuivasa, the Shoe King himself. Holy shit.
That's a great
Number
fight.
3 versus number 11.
That is that's probably the best.
Honestly, for me, I think that'll be the fight of the night.
It's probably the fight of the night, if not the fight of the year, if it ends how it usually does for those two guys.
No, I don't think it'll be fight of the night because those guys have no cardio, so I don't see it going all 3 rounds. If anything, I see it one of them getting performance of the night.
Yeah. That's a tough one, man.
Know,
that's super tough.
You know, I can't go against the guy with the most knockouts in UFC history, the Black Beast.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately I'm gonna go Tai Tuivasa on this one.
I'd have to go Tuivasa.
The guy has been an absolute machine. I was a little scared for him in his last fight just because right out of the gates he looked uncomfortable, but after a little bit and once he landed that one hit, he just went full beast mode and he used all of his fight IQ and timed every punch perfectly. Went around the guard on everything and landed everything and put him into fucking bed. So for me, I think I'm going on the up and comer Tai Tuivasa, and I don't know who's gonna stop that kid. And I hope we see a shoey. Because we're
definitely gonna see a shoey.
And not if I don't think we're gonna see one. I don't think we're gonna see one if he doesn't win.
Or if he doesn't win by knockout either. Let's say it does go to the decision.
I think he still does a shoey.
He might.
But do you think he's gonna after the decision jump up on the cage? Nobody jumps up
if
on
the
the
beat
cage
Derrick
after
Lewis?
winning a decision.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not as just like you knock someone out, you're like, holy shit, time to celebrate decision. You're just the
it's
ref
not
raised
as
your
intense.
hands, and then you talk to Joe Rogan right after.
Yeah.
Trenton, what do you got here?
Well, he's definitely not doing another shoe full of hot sauce because we've seen that. But that's the only reason why I'm picking him as well, Ty. Just because he's a social media. I don't want to say
he's a fan favorite,
but that's kind of what I was thinking as well.
Yep.
It's only because of the shoe boot, and it's a little bit because of the Nelk boys. But you know what? That's why I take him as well.
After his last win, I was upstairs making dinner. Josh and Jordan were downstairs watching it on the TV, and I just had it on my phone because I was cooking. And I saw Tuivasa knock out Greg Hardy. I ran downstairs with my shoe in front of Josh and Jordan. I poured a beer into the shoe, and I started doing. They were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "Watch." He gets up on the cage, does it, and they're just like, "Oh."
Funny.
That's gross.
And Joe Rogan's apparently grossed out by it.
Yeah.
I definitely think I've heard him say, like, yeah, it's pretty gross. But, hey, I mean, it's his icon, man.
Especially, like, if it's your own shoe, okay, but someone else's shoe and they spit
I feel like
in
a
it.
lot of those are actually pretty clean, though. Some of them. I feel like it's don't bring a shoe for him to do it.
Steve will do it, shoe.
Oh, man.
You probably know where that guy's
Oh,
feet
some
have
of
been.
them.
Gross. Yeah, it's gonna be a huge fight. It looks like Trenton. Did you say who you're picking?
Tai
Tuivasa. So we are overall Tai Tuivasa with Justin going on the Derrick Lewis train.
In Derrick Lewis's home city, too.
Even though Justin, a part of him, wants Tuivasa to win.
Of course.
So we're going to go ahead and chalk that up as Tai Tuivasa on the dub for the BETT Records podcast.
You know, you say Tuivasa is a fan favorite. Lewis is a fan favorite. Have you ever seen the guy's Instagram? He's the funniest guy in the UFC. If you need a good laugh, just check out his Instagram. He posts the funniest stuff with his signature catchphrase, "He's okay."
And moving on to the main event of the evening, we have Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker 2, the fight of the up-and-coming journeyman.
Who, Adesanya?
They're both up-and-coming in the next 5 to 10 years.
I mean, Adesanya's been champion for 3 years now.
Yeah, but 5 to 10, they'll be on a journey.
Yep, they'll be on a journey for sure. Israel Adesanya, 21-1-0. Only one loss to his record on a 3 or 4 win streak now.
1 win streak. He lost to Blachowicz last March and then beat Vettori in June.
Yeah, but then he won again, didn't he?
No.
Oh, okay.
His last fight was Marvin Vettori.
Okay, well, nevertheless, Robert Whittaker, 24-5-0, with obviously one of those losses being to Israel Adesanya. It's been a while since they've fought. Justin, you got any insights on that?
Yeah.
On the last time they fought?
It was actually, I think you guys watched it with me. We watched it at 7:04. It was in Melbourne, Australia. It was the largest crowd in UFC history.
Oh, yeah.
And Adesanya flexed on the crowd with a little walkout anime reference.
Yep.
Doing all the Naruto stuff. And he said it best after the fight. A couple years ago, I was in the nosebleeds, and today I made his nose bleed.
Yeah.
After knocking out Whittaker. It's been 3 years since they last met.
Yeah.
And since then, Whittaker's 3-0 with wins over Darren Till, Jared Cannonier, and Kelvin Gastelum, earning him his rematch. Israel Adesanya, since winning the title against Whittaker, has defended against Yoel Romero. Paulo Costa attempted to move up to light heavyweight to claim that belt, but failed against Jan Blachowicz, and then defended it against Marvin Vettori.
Oh yeah, so that's what I mean. I don't really count that as. I mean, yeah, it's a loss on his fighting career, but in the grand scheme of things, as far as middleweight goes, he's on how long of a win streak in middleweight?
He's never lost at middleweight. So
okay,
look at his record.
So 20 wins at middleweight, undefeated. I think that's going to be a thing. I think he was, even when he was going into that Blachowicz fight. I know he was really he was just kind of fucking around.
So the light heavyweight
obviously
limit
was
was 205, and he weighed in at 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And
I think he was having a tough time.
And Blachowicz just big brothered him the
Yeah.
entire time. I remember we talked about it on the podcast a year ago, and Josh basically compared it to if he wrestled Chris Manson.
Yeah.
He could try as much as he could. There's physically nothing.
And
he could
that's
have
pretty
done.
much what we saw.
Yeah.
So
I remember we had Brad on the podcast for that one, and you said that, and Brad was like, "Wait a minute, I've beaten Chris wrestling before, and I'm lighter than you."
Yeah, it's one of those things. This matchup is definitely going to be interesting.
There's going to be no grappling. It's going to be a strict kickboxing match.
I don't know if it's strict kickboxing. I almost want to go with Adesanya just because he's been so aggressive with it in the last so many fights.
Yeah, there's Israel Adesanya's kickboxing career. He won upwards of, I think, 50 kickboxing matches, and he only lost 3 of them.
Wow.
And
That's insane.
he lost 2 of them to a man who is now signed by the UFC and had his first fight in the UFC in November. And he is the only person to knock Israel Adesanya unconscious in a kickboxing match. So there's calls, okay, what if this kid, it's Alex Pereira. They're asking, okay, what if he works his way up the ladder, gets a shot at Adesanya, and Adesanya gets the jitters? This is the guy that sent me into the shadow realm. Is he going to do it again? You know, it's really funny. Also with Adesanya, he's shooting big for the stars. He was saying, obviously he went up and fought Blachowicz for the 205 belt, but before that, he said in quotes, I'm just saying, I still want to fuck up John Jones. He really wants that fight with John Jones. Him and Jones have been going back on social media for a couple years now. Obviously, Adesanya just making reference of Jones getting arrested all the time doing cocaine. And he even... The funniest part about one of their Twitter wars, so there was a rumor that 4 or 5 years ago, John Jones was training one day at Greg Jackson's gym in Albuquerque, and USADA showed up to do a drug test, and the coach warned him, and he jumped under the octagon and hid under there from them so they wouldn't find him. And that was just a rumor until him and Adesanya went at it on Twitter. Adesanya brought it up to him. He's like, oh, you hid under the octagon from USADA. And Jones confirmed the rumor to be true because because he frustrated him. He said, I hid under the octagon from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. He confirmed that rumor true. And that just shows how much Adesanya can just agitate somebody. Like
Q-tip,
he even one time in one of their exchanges, Adesanya said, you hate yourself, Jonathan. Find a picture of me like this. And it's John Jones's mugshot.
Oh my God.
Jones responds immediately, since you're up all night studying me, try and find a picture of me like this. Israel after getting knocked unconscious.
That's terrible.
But yeah, Israel is really starting to build his legacy. He's trying to surpass Anderson Silva as the greatest middleweight of all time, which in my opinion, he needs to do a lot more to eclipse that Anderson Silva legacy.
Yeah.
And he's been the champion now for 3 years, I think. Anderson was champion for 7 years.
Damn.
So he still has a ways to go.
Yeah. Q-tip, who do you got in this fight?
I think from what I've seen, honestly, I think I would give it to Adesanya. I think he's the powerhouse who has got this fight.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beast, especially the way he like dodges punches, and he's just so like I don't know, he's just like fucking flexible, dude.
He just looks good.
He enters into what he calls the Matrix. So how do you guys have it? Do we see a highlight reel knockout, or do we have a fought out decision?
I think it'll be a knockout.
I think it's gonna be a knockout either way for sure.
Yeah.
So just to recap, what happened in their first fight? Very steady first round, and Adesanya knocked down Whittaker in the final seconds of the first round, and Whittaker was saved by the bell. Second round came, Adesanya knocked him out. So it all depends how Whittaker comes out. If he's just going to play it safe, then we could see it go into a decision. But if we have that Robert who's coming out, Bobby Knuckles coming out, guns a-blazing, we could see Adesanya light him up. But one of my friends from high school is an Israel fan, and he has even said to me in the past he really thinks that Whittaker can beat Adesanya compared to the guys that Adesanya has fought. Like the Yoel Romero fight was. You and me watched that, and it was the pay-per-view right before the pandemic started, and it was it was a boring fight.
Yeah.
I remember as soon as the fight started, Romero to like intimidate him. Adesanya's coming out doing his thing. Romero just goes to the center of the octagon and does this. Does a little Cuban salsa dance, and Adesanya didn't want to engage. Everyone thought he was boring afterwards, and then the Costa fight comes. They're like, oh, this guy can beat Adesanya. Nope. Adesanya runs right through him. Then Costa comes out. I had some wine the night before and I was drunk. I fought Adesanya drunk. Jesus. I will be back. And then Marvin Vittori. Competitive, but Adesanya won
Blew
every
him out
single
again.
second of
Yeah.
that round. You know, and Adesanya claimed, like at the end of the fight, you know, those leg punches that just hurt so bad.
Yeah, the leg hits can be tough.
Yeah, especially after a lot of them. Justin, who you got in this fight?
I got Izzy.
Izzy? Trenton?
I think you can't bet against him. I mean,
Yeah,
if
it's
he's
really
20-0 in his class, then again another fight in his class. I don't think you can go against
I
him.
don't think so either.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
like we're
pretty hard.
unanimously Israel Adesanya for your last pick of the evening.
And still.
And still the UFC middleweight champion. We will see if we are correct on more than half of our picks. If so, Justin will do a snow angel in the snow
After a
the
Tabasco shot
fight.
challenge.
Hmm?
I said after a Tabasco shot challenge.
Mm.
Another round two.
Not one of you guys
have
gotta
we
do it
done
this
round
time.
one? Did we do round one?
I don't
we
remember it.
definitely did.
We don't have any proof of that.
We don't have any proof.
We got proof of it.
Yeah, and will there be more rumors? Does Israel Adesanya do what he did to Paulo Costa, to Whittaker, knock him out, and then peg Whittaker in the ass? And then Reddit streams, theories come out asking, is Israel Adesanya gay? And Izzy will be like, maybe, and then post some sus shit on the internet.
And I guess we will find out next week. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Go to your mom's house, take out our computer, and click subscribe for us. Go ahead and do some other stuff. Whatever you got to do. Trenton?
Go ahead and do it. Check out our NFL Super Bowl episode as
Ooh,
well.
yeah,
If you're excited about
that just
that
launched,
one.
what, a couple
Coming-
days ago now?
Yep, just launched a couple days ago. So check that one out as well. Hope you guys are excited for that one as well. And let us know what your picks are for this main card. Thanks again for listening as always. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
So-
Peace.
Look at it, do drip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it. I got that new whip. Go get it, do drip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it.